I think I've had over the last 2 weeks, maybe 2 losing days. One of my most successful friends, he makes around 1 million a month. You will not be profitable as a reversal trader. My weirdest investment is...
Hey guys, I'm here with Rafael Kimmel, a highly experienced ICT trader and one of my favorite YouTubers. We've known each other for like 4 years now.
Yeah, a lot.
But I just met him for the first time like a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming out. I've got a couple of questions for you. Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, so my first question for you is, what made you decide to start trading? Why trading?
Yeah, so I have a very funny story when it comes to this, which is ever since I was 16. Well, ever since I was a kid, I was always in the business front.
Yeah.
But ever since I was like 15, 16, I started watching like Graham Stephan on YouTube, which is all like the whole financial thing, stocks, ETFs. And I remember going to a bank and asking them if I can invest my money. And they were like, okay, how much do you have? And I was like, I want to invest 200 pounds.
Yeah.
And the guy, he was like super chill. He was like, listen, got out a spreadsheet and he was like, this is how much you want to deposit. These are all the commissions. You need to get a 36% return every single year just to break even on your 200 pounds.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
that's a good guy.
Okay, interesting. But yeah, then I got introduced. I was always in the investing front and I knew I always wanted to have a business. And then I went to the UK and one of my friends, which was a pathological liar, I had no idea. He was like the only person that was Portuguese from the class.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, there's this one guy, I only trust him. I only trust him my money. And then I checked and it was like a guy that every single day was posting profits on the story.
That's not good.
Yeah, and other people's profits too. It was a signal provider, but I had no idea. So I messaged him because I was like, well, he trusts him. Then I'm very, very quick to make decisions. Like if you say you trust this person, I'm going to trust them until then I get messed over and then I don't trust them anymore.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's how I got introduced to FX in general. And then I lost 800 pounds, which was basically how much I was making in a whole month. And I thought, I gave it 3 months of like not doing anything, of thinking what I'm going to do next. And then eventually I found the first community through another YouTube, Hannah. Yeah. And I messaged her. She was extremely kind. She messaged me back probably with a already written message because she was probably getting messages every single day.
Yeah, she was really big at that time.
Yeah, about that specific community. And yeah, it was from there on, like I fell in love with trading and there you go.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's interesting. I know a bunch of people that got into trading through kind of the bad side of it, like signal providers. And yeah, I think I got introduced to trading kind of through Hannah Forex as well. At least that's how I ended up in the community that I did.
Yeah.
So what would you be doing if you weren't trading? Is a hard question for you.
I don't know. I would probably be doing like something like drop shipping or like the only reason I'm very, very grateful for trading is that I don't know. Well, I would probably be successful in any sort of endeavor I would put myself into. But like trading was just the first thing I fell in love with and I just stick with it for 3 years until I started making money.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I was doing drop shipping for a while, around 15, 16. And I ended up realizing like I'm trying to force my personality type into this business model that doesn't really fit the type I am. I'm more of a technical kind of guy. So trading was a really good fit for me. And yeah, similar story, similar background. We both trade quite different strategies. I'm still trading this strategy, which I think we met through like 4 years ago. And so that means my daily routine as a trader is mostly just backtesting. I'm not checking the charts too much. So I'm curious, in your day-to-day, what does your daily routine look like? And do you do much backtesting? Yeah,
so I stopped backtesting already like a year and a half ago, where now like I have a good amount of trade frequency that I just don't feel the need to backtest.
Yeah, you're getting practice through forward testing.
Exactly. I just practice through forward testing. And if anything, it's like I prove that my strategy is profitable in the live markets. Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that puts money in my bank account. And I know that if I want to, if now someone tells me, hey, the only way you can make money from trading now is by trading corn, I would be like, okay, and I would just master that. Like I'm not gonna say quickly, but in less than a year I would be making money from trading corn. So for me, I focus on very specific things that can make any single trader profitable, and then I just apply that in every single market. In terms of to respond to the question of what my daily routine looks like, I wake up at around like 7 to 8 a.m. I have a team meeting at 9, and then I just work during the morning. I only trade now NQ mainly.
Yeah.
So I trade between 2 p.m. UK or 9 a.m. EST and 5 p.m. UK / midday EST.
Yeah, well, that's pretty chill. That's a good couple hours. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really my trading life. And then all the rest is like anything that is work, anything that is like community, anything that is YouTube or any other project that I might have. It's pretty chill. I have a lot of people asking me if I spent more time on FX or on NQ. I had like a student of mine ask me that last week, and I was like, well, actually, I think you actually spend more time on futures on NQ because you literally have to be focused for like 2 hours at least, while on FX, like you're sporadically focused. Like the way that we were trading, because we were always waiting for the 1 hour to close.
24/5, yeah.
You literally just need 5 minutes every 24 hours, every hour. Let's even say you wake up every single hour for some reason. If you can't understand that the market is not going to shape up, then if you multiply 24 by 5, that's 120. So that's also 2 hours.
You actually touched on something that I wanted to ask you later, which was I'm still just trading Forex, and I don't really know much about futures. So why? I know a lot of people started trading futures because in the US they banned a lot of prop firms, so a lot of people went into the futures prop firm space. And I'm interested to hear why you choose to trade futures now instead of regular FX.
Yeah. So for me, I started trading futures because of the whole prop firm situation, but I already was interested in trading NQ. For once, because ICT was trading it, and I was like, okay, interesting. He has really high risk reward, and it moves at very specific times, and it's just the 1 minute, and it's super clean, right? I can trade the 5 minute, 15 minute, or whatever is needed. But for me, the fact that I have to sit down 9:30 a.m. and just have to trade for 1.5 hours, for example, to me that is just pure bliss. That is the life I want. And that's it. I trade it because it has a lot of volatility. It's very precise. And I just saw that the risk reward is like amazing.
With your risk reward, would you say, what's your win rate like, if you don't mind me asking? Because I've got quite high risk reward strategy, and I seem to be in back testing, I have like 40-50%, but in live trading, it's always a bit lower.
Yeah, it's funny because I have this concept, which is called the trading trifecta, which is that your trading has to be balanced between your trading will be balanced between 3 things, which is trade frequency, strike rate, or risk to reward. If you have a high risk to reward, you cannot have a high strike rate. If you cannot have a high strike rate, you cannot have a high risk to reward. Also, let's say you want a high strike rate and a high risk to reward, then what do you have to do? You have to wait for the perfect situation. So your trade frequency is tanked. So that's the balance that I believe the market gives. Why? Because else there would be a trillionaire trader. And there is no trillionaire trader. So anyone that says, oh, I have a high strike rate and I have a high risk reward and high trade frequency, like just run away. They're obviously fake, right? But everyone wants that. That's why there's so many unsuccessful traders.
Yeah, and strategy hoppers, people seeking perfection. It doesn't exist in the markets, right?
Yeah. So I would say that my average risk to reward is around the 1 to 2, and my strike rate, or my daily win rate, usually is at 50%.
That's fantastic.
Maybe a little bit more. Like I have, so right now I have 4 accounts with FTMO. One of them has been scaled up, and I think I've had over the last 2 weeks maybe 2 losing days.
That's fantastic.
So it's like, yes, I might have a little bit of a lower strike rate, let's even say 40% or 50%, but the trade frequency and the risk reward like really makes up for it.
That's a great way of looking at it, and I've not thought about that before. Because at the moment, thinking about my strategy, risk reward is great. It's always been great. Win rate is on the lower side, but the trade frequency, at the moment at least, is like nil.
Yeah.
I have like I think last month I had like maybe one trade.
Yeah.
So there's definitely area for improvement by thinking about those three things. That's really helpful. I
Yeah.
think people will definitely find that
Yeah.
helpful at home as well.
Like, yeah, I made a boot camp. It was a 30-day boot camp on YouTube. And the videos that have the least amount, it's actually not the one that has the least amount of views, but I made a video that is just called, What is a Trade? Because people don't understand these foundational principles of like how this foundation then stacks on top with all the knowledge that you'll have. Because if people don't understand that the trade is simply entering in the right direction at the right time, the right execution with the right direction.
Yeah.
And they don't understand, direction is a key part of what a profitable trade is, then they forget that the most important thing is direction. So for me, like my whole trading is all about direction. If I know where the market is going today, I will make money.
Yeah,
That's it.
I'm with you. I've seen your daily bias videos where you're basically just like, if I know where it's going on the day, that's all you need to know.
Yeah. Because think about it. It's like, if you know, there's a joke that we have inside of my like tiny group of like extremely profitable traders, which is every time someone takes a loss, we joke around that he made the mistake of setting a stop loss. And for us, it's for what we think is like, if you know where the market is heading, obviously never do this. But if you don't have a stop, you will make money.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are going to be times where your direction is wrong, and that happens all the time to me. Like usually, I'm right 70% of the times when it comes to direction. But again, I don't trade every single day. There are times where I don't trade. There are times where I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, risk management is there to help me. If I'm right, then that's it. Like if you know the direction, you can literally enter in any trade with a huge stop.
Yeah.
Like imagine a 200 pip stop. If the market goes in your direction, you've profited.
Yeah.
So
you know, you saying that, you reminded me. I remember I'd taken this flag on EU, and I was really pleased with it. It was running really nicely, and like a month passed, and that was like the most recent winning trade I'd had. And I think I saw you posted on your story this entry you took around the same time on EU. I think this was March last year. You literally timed like the very bottom of EU, and you traded it like way. Like you were holding a trade for like a month or two, I think.
yeah, that was
a mega trade.
Yeah, that was one of my largest trades, but it's extremely rare. It's like,
that was a special one.
Because by the way, like this is one of the things that is important for people to know with people that have a high risk reward is that how much of that risk reward was taken with full volume. Because I know you guys take it with full volume, and that is insane. But for example, for me, as soon as the market reached the 1 to 2, I took 50% off.
I see.
It reached the 1 to 4, I took another 50% of the 50%, so I only had 25% running.
Yeah.
So yes, I had a 10R, but it was a 2.5R of the last 25%.
For the partials, yeah.
So people might see a 10R and be like, oh my God. And it's like, well, actually it was only like a 5.3.
Because you scaled out.
Exactly.
Yeah. I remember that trade, and I remember being like, if only I took that trade, because I'd have full volume all the way.
Yeah, exactly.
I also wanted to ask you, do you think, and this is a question which is close to my heart, I suppose, do you think trading is more of an art or a science? For me, I would say it's more of an art.
I think it's a mixture because it's not black and white, because you need to put your own spin on it.
Yeah.
Right? So that makes it an art in my mind. But it's also very technical because there needs to be a reason as to why you're doing X, Y, and Z. Like if I know that if the market does this and it does this and it does this, I'm entering. So that's the technical part. But the art is the lipstick that I put on, like people call it the lipstick on the charts.
Markups.
Like, so I would say it's a mixture really between both of them.
Do you have like a clear-cut technical trade plan, or do you have like a more open-ended trade plan?
I have specific rules that I want to execute on, but my entries make it so that I can execute during the whole leg of the move. So for example, what I tell my students itself is like, listen, your only goal is to identify the high value area which you expect the market to react from. And then your next goal is to identify your target, your final target. Because then now you have this whole area that you should be trading. because you know the market is going here. You know the market is going here.
Direction of the day. Like
Exactly. You know the direction of the day. So if the market is going from here to here, find a way to execute in between that area. So then I have a reversal model, like a daily reversal model, and I have a continuation model, which is literally like, okay, it pulls back, moves higher. Okay, there's a new order block, you can execute on that. A little bit larger stop, that's fine, because you know that the market is more likely to go here than it's to go here. That's a trade in of itself.
Yeah.
Like when you say, I think it's more likely that the market goes there than the market going here, there you go. That's your TP, that's your stop loss.
Yeah,
So,
and that's quite technical rather than artistic, I'd
Yeah.
say. But I can see what you mean, there's a balance. For
Yeah.
me, the way that I'm trading, like, I don't have a trade plan anymore. I'm completely discretionary, which makes it, for me, like, completely discretionary and more of an art. I did have a technical trade plan at the time. I think you have to transition, at least with my strategy. You have to go with a technical trade plan, scientific, get data gathering, finding an edge, and then over time, it kind of becomes more open-ended and discretionary when you outgrow that trade plan. That's my kind of philosophy, at least with the strategy that I trade. But thank you, it's really interesting to hear.
Yeah, I think
thoughts.
every single person will add their own discretion.
Yeah.
But like, for example, for me as a teacher, it's like I need to find a way that my discretion is being, I can explain my discretion in a systematic way so that the people that are learning can then understand. Because to be fair, everything that I've done was discretionary, but now has turned into a rule. Because when I think about
the other way
targets,
from me then, kind of discretionary into rule-based.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
So
cool.
yes, I trade in a discretionary way. Sometimes I enter in a market order where the market is, I know the market is just going in that direction, so I just market order with a large enough stop. And there are times where it's like, yeah, I just wait for the pullback. I want the market to go. This is the target. Why is that the target? Like, it's just a random level. Like, people are like, what the f is this?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, do you see those two wicks? That to me is an order block. But now I was able to explain, because for us as traders, if you're not teaching, it's like you just know these things.
Yeah.
But if someone asks you, what is this? You have to be able to explain what it is.
That's not always easy, to be
Yeah.
honest, because a lot of it, I feel, can be intuition-based, you know, based on just hours and hours, thousands of hours of experience. So it can be hard to kind of explain
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
sometimes, if you know what I mean.
But there still should be a reason that you see that happening. It's
Yeah.
like even with the two wicks, like every time I see a, let's say, bearish wick and a bullish wick on an engulfing candle, it's like that's an order block to me. Because if you go to a lower time frame, you'll see that the market moved lower and continued moving higher. So that is not something I thought about before, but once people started asking, hey, why is that the target? Or even when I was saying, hey guys, this is the target. And I would say, okay, this is why it is the target. And then I created the rule.
Yeah,
So I think any discretionary strategy can turn into a rule-based strategy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think we could talk all day about that.
Yeah,
It's a very
100%,
interesting topic.
100%.
Throughout your trading journey, what would you say is your biggest psychology hurdle? And just before you answer, before we started recording this, we were talking a little bit about, well, I think I just mentioned, I can be a bit of a perfectionist, which can lead to FOMO if I don't take a trade. I think for me, maybe FOMO is my biggest psychology hurdle. And if you don't mind me saying, I remember when I first, when we were trading the same strategy, I feel like if I were to guess your biggest psychology hurdle, maybe patience. I feel like you were quite an active trader, but don't let me criticize you. I'm interested to hear what you think.
No, I would say that that's definitely a psychology, but it's not. I don't think that's trading psychology. I just think it's life psychology. I'm very, very quick to make decisions. Like even now, I'm about to make a big business decision itself, and like when I was talking with people and getting that information, I was like, yeah, I have to do this. But I know myself, so I'm like, okay, chill, reduce your emotions, then see if you still agree with that whole decision, and then you actually say that to the team or something.
I think, if you don't mind me cutting in, trading, I think, has maybe trading has taught you that kind of self-reflective skill. Like maybe you, without trading, because I asked at the beginning, what would you be doing without trading? If you were in that same position, making a big business decision, you wouldn't have had the ability to kind of pause, need to think about this, double check this decision, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it depends, because business will probably give you that, because anyone that is just making rash decisions as a business owner eventually will be out of business.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could say that it's patience. I could say that it's still patience, because a lot of the times I love to front run the market. It's like, I think the market is going there, let me enter now.
Yeah.
But again, that's why like the risk management and the
rules protect you.
And the risk reward is there to protect me, because I might take a loss or two and then eventually the market goes and I'm like, okay, that just made that and more. So like, I'm just not really that big of a proponent of trading psychology, just because I think that most of it is lack of technicals from people.
And you don't really need good trading psychology if you just follow your rules.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I have this trading psychology problem. What is it? Oh, I don't trust entering in a trade. No, you don't trust your plan. You don't have enough data to believe that your plan works. Or hey, I have this problem which is over trading. No, your problem is not over trading. It's your lack of discipline to stop fucking trading. It's like, it's simple. You see yourself getting emotional. Like, I was at this mastermind, and I know, like, yesterday I was entering in a trade, like while there was a class going, and I was like, why am I entering in this trade? Like, maybe it is like a $2,000 trade. But is it really worth it, given the fact that I'm paying zero attention to this, and I'm also paying zero attention to the charts?
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense. So I just uninstalled MetaTrader. Like, I was like, that's the best way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think most of the problems can be very fixed with very simple solutions. But then people just, once again, put lipstick on it, sell it as a course, say trading psychology is the problem.
Yeah.
Most people are just bad traders. Yeah. I seriously believe that. Like, when someone tells me that their problem is trading psychology, I'm like, it isn't.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you now it isn't. I would check your trading plan, I would check your trading journal, and be like, you're probably a shit trader.
And just not following your plan.
Exactly.
Yeah. Kind of going into a bit further into psychology, you've obviously got big social media presence. I've got, a fraction of your social media presence, and sharing trades publicly, not an easy thing to do. Have you found that that's had, there's obviously pros and cons. I'm sure there's the good of social media presence, because you've been able to have networking opportunities, but there's also the bad where, it's difficult to share your trades and it might impact your trading performance. Have you found any impact like that?
Well, one thing that people have to understand is that we decide what we share. Like, listen, there's so many people that take so many losses and they don't share shit. And then once they take a win, it's like, guys, I made $5,000. And it's like, yeah, but you lost 10,000 last week. So it doesn't really matter. Exactly. So it's like, for me, it depends on what we are talking about. Like, in the beginning, I do think that it affected me.
Yeah. It's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do. I think in many ways it could make you a better trader, because it just like fortifies a lot of things that make you a good trader in the first place. It's
a complicated topic. I've thought about it a lot.
Yeah.
I personally think that I think it's neutral, because again, you are the one that decides what you share. Obviously, when you have a target on your back of like, oh, show me your payouts, and it's like, oh, of course. Let me just also tell the IRS. No, just kidding. But yeah, you definitely put yourself in a position where you become a target because people want to see your results. But again, it's like, you should be able to show some results for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But you don't have to, at the time that things are happening, you don't have to share them. So I think it's fine. Like, in the beginning, I think it was when I was unprofitable, I always felt judged that I was unprofitable. But now, if I take an unprofitable trade, like I live stream a lot, and like it's always funny because When I'm in drawdown, people are like, "Oh, you're such a bad trader." And then when the same trade reverses, everyone disappears. It's like, whoa, like all of a
It's
sudden,
very
everyone.
polarizing.
Exactly, exactly. So I know that if someone is seeing me taking a trade and is saying, "Oh, you took a loss because of this, this, and this, and this," or "You took a loss because you're a bad trader," I know those people are unprofitable. Like they have nothing to show for. So that's why they're in the comments saying that someone that took a bad trade is a shitty trader.
Yeah, because you can't judge if you're a successful trader on an individual trade. So
Exactly.
making any comments like that is ridiculous in the
Exactly.
first place.
And I tell this also because I live stream on my community. Like over the last 2 streams, which was when I started trading NQ Live, we took 2 wins. And I was like, well, it is what it is, because if it was a loss, I wouldn't want you guys to judge me. So just because it's a win, I don't want you guys to praise me.
Yeah.
Because
It goes both
if
ways.
someone praises you for a win, they'll probably judge you for a loss. While no trader is perfect, like no trading plan is perfect that will only give you wins. It's literally impossible.
Yeah, and I think those are the same people that have come from or end up going to like signal providers.
Yeah.
You know, it's that kind of mentality.
Yeah.
What would you say that? I mean, I wanted to ask, you know, the negative impact of social media presence, but what would you say has been the good impact of having in the trading world? How has having your YouTube channel?
Yeah, I think that just the fact I'm around amazing people on a daily
No,
basis.
thank you.
No, but it's true. It's true. I'm around amazing people, amazing traders that I can talk to like on a daily basis. Like if I have something, like we just share the dumbest things, and it's like I'm able to see that traders, like profitable traders, are just normal people because we're all a little bit stupid. So you don't need to be perfect to win a lot. Like my friend Kyle, that got $2.5 million payout with Apex.
Crazy.
But he got a 30% win rate. So it's like, is he a bad trader?
Yeah, depends who's looking, I guess, right?
No, it's like no one can argue that he's an amazing trader. He got a $2.5 million
of
payout.
course, but
if someone says that he's a bad trader, it's like, okay, show me your payouts, please.
Yeah, it's the same people. I mean, like it depends who's looking. I mean that in the sense of like those guys who are praising individual trades. Like if he's got his 30% win rate, like 70% of the time, people are going to see him lose, and they're going to think he's a bad trader. But that's not the case at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly what I thought. I mean, and same here. You know, if I didn't have my YouTube channel, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And leveling up.
Because this is the reality. Whoever you want to talk to, there needs to be an exchange of value. And some people think, oh, that's so stupid. It makes no sense. No, it's like, let's say someone comes to me and they want to be mentored by me, like on a life level. Probably someone has had this, like someone that is watching or even you, someone comes up to you asking you for advice. Like just some random, some family member comes up to you, asks for for advice. You give advice. They don't act on it. You're not going to give them advice anymore. Why? Because they're not providing you value back. Like they're not even giving you the pleasure of seeing someone succeeding through the value that you gave them.
Yeah.
So there's no exchange of value because you're giving and you're not receiving not even emotional compensation. So because before, like for 3 years, I had no value itself as a, like if you strip me down into, okay, I'm just a person. I had no value to anyone because I was not profitable. I didn't have a social media following. I didn't have anything. I didn't have money. So the only thing I could give was my full attention of like, you give me a tip. Not only am I going to implement it, but I'm going to tell you how much this tip helped me. So that's why I always attracted a lot of mentors, because as soon as they told me do this, I do it, and I go back to them and I'm like, this is what this is how much it helped.
Leading on from that, this is an interesting question. I tried to think of a creative question, Rafael. If you had a trading floor and you could choose any 3 traders that you've met to be on that trading floor, who would you choose? Excluding me, obviously.
Kyle, so Jade Cap.
Yeah.
I would basically pick all of my like close group. Like some people probably hate this, but Casper. Casper is an amazing trader. People just don't know. So Casper, Kyle, and I have like Omar, which is from Train and Trade. There's so many. There's a lot.
Hard to choose three.
Yeah, I know a lot of amazing traders. So yeah, I would say all my close group basically.
Yeah, you can't choose three.
We would fucking crush it.
Oh, yeah.
We kill it, man.
Awesome. Since you started trading, what has been your best day and worst day?
In the sense of monetary value?
No, not necessarily. Maybe, worst day could be a day you lost a funding, or that's not necessarily monetary. It might be psychological.
Yeah, I think one of my worst days was when I had a 10K. This was on my first FTMO account. Mm-hmm. So when I was just starting with the funding, I got a 10K challenge. I passed it. Then I did a 100K challenge while copy trading to the 10K challenge.
Yeah.
And 10K funded account, and I just failed both.
Oh no.
So all of a sudden, not only because I had this ramped up potential of, and I say this, that I have this equation for emotion, which is emotion is the gap of expectation and reality.
Yeah.
So the more you expect and the worse reality is, the more you're going to have emotion. Yeah, the bigger the disparity, the more the emotion, positive or negative. And so I got the 10K account and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Then I got the 100K account and I was like, I'm going to pass this super, super easy. So not only did I think I was going to pass and make thousands of dollars, and all of those went to zero. So that was like the probably highest amount
disparity, that big gap must have been painful.
Yeah, so I think that was like the worst because I wasn't profitable at the time also. So I was just like in a rut of thinking, am I going to be able to do this? At that time, I already had dropped out of university. I was about to go back home to Portugal.
Yeah.
So I would say that was the worst day. And I think that in terms of best days, the last 365 days have been great. Instead of just pointing to one day, because I can probably say like when I got like my biggest payout ever.
Yeah.
But I would say it's like I would rather measure my happiness over a span of a year, which is just now where I'm just focused on such a simple thing, simple risk management, payouts basically on a weekly basis. It's been absolutely beautiful. They're not insane payouts, but it's payouts on a weekly basis, and that's nothing short
Yeah, it's
but
better
beautiful.
than me. I get like a payout a year based on my strategy, and it's a big payout, but it's inconsistent. And I can relate to what you said at the beginning with the worst day. I remember they can be closely related sometimes. I remember I passed my first FTMO challenge, and I went straight in with a 100K account. And I remember I'd like back tested for like a year up to this point. I practiced a lot, and I was really proud of myself. And I remember I fell to my knees and I went, yes, like I've finally done it. And I was the same. I thought I was going to make thousands of pounds every month now. And I moved to London, and I didn't get a payout for a year.
Yeah. One of the things that is important for people to understand is that every single trader, no matter who you are, no matter how much money you've made, you will always have bad days.
Of course.
Like just recently, I was talking with someone that was actually on the mastermind, and he was with a trader, and he was like, "Yeah, he's going to scale up now. He's going to start trading more contracts." And then, as he scaled the contracts, he just went on a deep losing streak. So, as soon as he increased size, the size of the losses increased, and like. He didn't talk about it on, like I know the trader, he didn't talk about it on YouTube.
Damn.
Right? Because it's a thing, because it was probably a very negative experience for him.
Yeah.
And I don't hold it up to him for him to, yeah, I would not tell him to share. I wouldn't tell him to share.
No,
I don't think it makes sense. No. It's like, if you have a bad life experience, the last thing you want to do is share it on YouTube. Until when? Until you've actually made it. I have some insane stories, like of my darkest days. I have insane stories, but I'll tell them like when in 10 years time I'll be chilling with full financial freedom, instead of now where it's still like if I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've been there. Like I had a trade recap series where I just share my trades each month, and I'd say I'm taking this many prop firm challenges, And then I'd also have to share when I would fail those challenges or when I would have consecutive losing months. And it's not easy to do. And I think it does make you a better trader.
Yeah.
It's definitely made me a better trader.
Yeah. But I don't think so, actually.
No?
I don't know. For me, it's weird because if no one is looking at me, I will probably make more money than if I'm a little bit more lenient with my strategy and like in front of people. I know that for the month that I live streamed, I would have probably made more money because I would have been a little bit more aggressive because I wouldn't be thinking about what people think if I take a loss.
That's the sacrifice you have to make when you have a YouTube channel, I guess.
Yeah.
As a trader.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think there's definitely a balance in having social media. But again, overall net positive, financially, in terms of network, everything probably was a net positive.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely is a profitable decision to have a YouTube channel.
At the end of the day, I really do believe that you need, like, if you're not on social media and if you don't have a following, like, you technically don't have a voice. Mm-hmm. Like how many people have had payouts denied, and because they have no following, it's like you have no cards.
Wow, that takes me back. I remember. Do you remember when my friends, they had a payout with my funded...
My Forex funds.
My Forex funds, thank you. My Forex funds. And you were able to contact the CEO and get them that payout.
Yeah, my Forex fund situation was very, very interesting. And at least I had my connections. I knew you guys. I knew you weren't copy trading. And now that I look back, I'm going to be honest. Now that I look back, I would never take a bullet for you guys.
No, of course.
Never. Just because if I then I sent it to also another CEO, which was not related with your situation at all. And I was like, would your team see this as copy trading? And he would be like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit. Okay, then I just took a bullet for nothing.
Yeah, of course. And that was a very gracious thing for you to do for these guys that were trading the same strategy in this community. Yeah, basically, it looked like they were copy trading because they were taking the exact same entries. And afterwards, I remember you shared they'd shared the logs with you, and they were taking trades like the exact same second, like 10 times in a row.
Because it's a limit order. It's like if everyone is entering in the same trade and it's a limit order, price is going to hit it at the same time, exact same time.
What is your number one piece of advice for any traders watching that may be struggling at home? What would be the one thing that you would say to try and help them?
Yeah, if you don't know the direction of the market, you will never be profitable.
Yeah.
Your strategy needs to focus on one thing, which is direction. If you don't know the direction, you will never be profitable.
Yeah. And how can you practice getting direction right? How can you train that muscle of knowing which way the market's going to go?
Well, it depends on what each person trades. Since I trade I'm a day trader, meaning I take trades on one day and that's it. On that specific day, I'm going to close the trade. The way to do it is by just going onto the daily chart and just back testing the daily chart in terms of what do you think, where do you think the market is going? And then you'll notice, like, a lot of people do this. A lot of people are reversal traders. It's like, you will not be profitable as a reversal trader. Because while the market is going, you're like, okay, this is the bottom. No, this is the bottom. No, this is the bottom. And then loss. And then you blame your trading psychology. And it's like, no, you're just a bad trader. For example, I don't like smart money concept at all because it's always a reversal strategy. And I'm not a reversal trader. So, like, for me, the daily, it's like if the daily has just moved 500 pips bullish, I'm still bullish. Like, and everyone is like, no. Oh, the market is overextended. Or like when NQ breaks all-time high and everyone is like, why are you longing all-time high? And I'm like, listen, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, NQ was at 13,000. So all-time high kept all-time highing.
Yeah.
So
I think like I've seen something where it's like 70% of the time when we break an all-time high, we continue.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask this question because obviously a lot of the people subscribed to this YouTube channel trade the old GC strategy, same strategy that I'm still trading now. And you traded that for a while and you decided to move away from it. And I just wanted to hear your thoughts on that old strategy?
Yeah, I had someone ask me, and I know I forgot to reply, which is like horrible because it was like 3 months ago. Because they were like, listen, why did you stop that strategy? And first, it was just because of shiny object syndrome, because I moved to SMC, because they were always hitting like 1 to 10, trading the 1 minute super precise. And I thought, oh, I want to do that. So first it was shiny object syndrome. Yeah, it was really just that. And then it's because I really like the strategy. I really, really like the strategy. I think it's very, very good. And I think that strategy, if you look at my entries now, you would be like, well, this is that.
Yeah, it's like kind of similar.
Yeah.
A lot of entries are kind of similar, you know, continuations are...
It's just a break in, everything is just a break and
Everything
retest.
is a break.
Like, what is a fair value gap? Oh, we broke this level and you think this is now resistance. Okay. So it's a break and retest. So, yeah, I actually really, really like the strategy.
That's good to hear.
I just I don't really appreciate the small strike rate. Like, I love a high strike rate.
Yeah, I don't.
And yeah, I just think when the risk is, if you miss this trade, you've messed up your whole year. Like, I don't think that's overall sustainable. So yeah, now I'm just very, very happy with the acceptable strike rate, the acceptable risk reward, acceptable trade frequency.
Yeah. I think the way you're trading now, having a higher trade frequency, way better for prop firms, because you only need to make a couple percent. And you know, I think a higher win rate is better because a smoother equity curve means a higher frequency of payouts. Whereas what I've got is quite it's not a very smooth equity curve at all. At least on a yearly basis, you have to zoom out quite a lot for it to become smooth, and that means quite infrequent large payouts, which isn't necessarily a good thing because with prop firms they're more likely to deny.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, you incur the risk of then the prop firm just denying it. So even your profitable trade is like
the big wins anyway with prop firm accounts. Yeah. No, that's cool to hear you still like the strategy. I don't know if I'll tell you how it's been the last year or so. So I think since the beginning of maybe 2024, so around the last 12 months, the trade frequency has been extremely low, and any high probability setups that have formed have either been break even or losers. And interestingly, the more valid or average setups, so maybe the trades that would have worked out in like 2021, those have actually been performing way better. So you kind of have to, I don't know if you redefine your trade plan for the year's market conditions. I certainly haven't. But yeah, in the last year or so, a lot of people have moved away from the strategy. I think there's probably like it's probably more than maybe a couple hundred people trading it now.
Yeah, I think I think the markets have definitely changed. Into like, especially on FX, it's been very, very range bound, and then it just moves. And when it moves, it doesn't pull back.
Yeah,
and you have to be able to execute on those sort of things, because like even my strategy, as I said, if the market moves 500 pips up, I'm still going to be bullish. Like, I have students that show me like an extremely bullish chart, and they're like, hey Kimmel, what's your bias? And I'm like, bullish. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to predict a pullback. I think it might happen. Like, I look at key levels and I'm like, okay.
You'll enter.
Yeah, no, not even, to be honest. Like, I'm very, very careful with pullback entries. I very rarely take them. I have to be very, very confident that the market is actually pulling back. Because what I say with reversals or with pullback trades is that not only are you increasing the risk of taking a loss, but you're also increasing the risk of not taking the big win once the market continues going in the right direction, in the direction of the trend. So I tell people to be very careful with counter trend trades, because the market is just pulling back a little bit. And if you are in a short, you're going to be like, oh, but maybe this short is still valid. And you forget that you actually want to enter in the long. So people have to be very careful with counter trend trading.
Yeah, it's cool to hear what you said about the market conditions, because I've not heard it put so eloquently. Yeah, it's just been like range bound, and when it moves, there's no opportunities to get involved. That's basically the issue these traders have been having. And yeah, looking back, I think maybe 2015, 2020, you do get these years which are still profitable, on the yearly basis. I've never had an unprofitable year, but it's just way slower than the previous years. And yeah, it's interesting. A lot of people have been kind of dropping out, trading new strategies, or maybe introducing a range-bound entry. A lot of people are adding a liquidity sweeps to the trending entries because the last year's market conditions have rewarded that so much. But interestingly, I don't know, we can get into the GT insolvency. I wanted to ask you about that. Just before they went insolvent, they were releasing this liquidity sweep strategy.
Oh, yeah.
And 2023 was when they were doing that. Insane performance, like their students were getting thousands of percents in backtesting.
Yeah, in backtesting, so it's worthless.
Obviously. And a lot of people in 2023, they kind of picked up this range-bound entry and it performed really well. But if you backtest 22, 21, maybe even 2020, it just draw down like massively. So yeah, I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on kind of, market conditions changing on a yearly basis? How do you adapt your strategy?
Yeah, I think that, for example, I always like to trade the best asset class. That's why I'm trading a lot of NQ now. I just saw a great opportunity there. But if I want to be, if someone tells me right now you can never trade NQ again, I would just trade FX and I would absolutely crush it too.
Yeah.
Well, I can go to stocks, which is probably a little bit more complex. But this to say that I think that those people, if they just focus now on direction and then just waiting for the 1 hour, because I don't know if they're still only trading the 1 hour.
Still.
Just wait for the 1 hour to align with the daily direction and you will see insane results. I'm telling you, insane results.
The win rate will probably improve a lot.
Like, yes, sometimes you're going to have to be patient, but it's like, well, I would actually say look at internal structure on the daily. Like if you trade internal structure on the daily with 1 hour time frame, it's insane. Like we have students inside of Funded Trading Blueprint that they work full time, and I tell them, listen, if you work full time, obviously don't look at the 5 minute, don't look at the 15-minute, because it's like you don't have time for the market to shape up like perfectly and then execute, and then because you're working. It's like if you're missing it, then you're done. So they focus only on the 1 hour, or if someone has bad results, I tell them to focus on the 1 hour only, and it's insane. It's like if you understand how the market moves and you stop trying to call reversals, your trading will change forever. Like I can. Obviously, I can't guarantee it, but I can tell you that I'm very, very, very confident in what I'm saying right now.
Yeah, you're experiencing
like insanely
it yourself,
confident.
Yeah, and going back to kind of guerrilla trading and that whole situation, do you know much about that? What do you think?
Yeah, I heard about it, and it's like
Did you see my video?
Yeah, that was a good video.
Thanks.
I was probably one of the first people to watch it. I watched it in the first 15 minutes.
Oh, awesome.
And it's just. It's wild. First, now that I have a community, I'm like, how the fuck did they have so many students?
Yeah.
That's first of all.
How did they mess it up so bad?
Yeah, I don't know that too. And now that I look back, I think the red flags are definitely there.
Oh, for sure.
I don't think he was waking up at 3 a.m. or every single hour during the night.
No.
But I think it was a good thing because it showed us how much transparency is important. So if I enter in a trade, I'm also sending my MetaTrader to the traders.
Yeah.
It's like, hey guys, I entered in this trade. Here's my MetaTrader showing you the entry.
It's so easy to do.
Yeah,
it makes all the difference.
It's like you're not hiding anything crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you've made $10,000 on this trade. Well, congratulations, someone made 200,000, and they're showing it. So it's like people talk about this like privacy and blah blah blah. It's like if you're a businessman and you're doing trading, you don't really want privacy, because if you wanted privacy, you would not be on YouTube.
Of course, yeah, that contradicts it. And why wouldn't you show your MetaTrader? It only helps.
Yeah.
With
Yeah, like I do that, or I just tell people, listen, I just entered in a trade. Like I literally do that. Like I do the live trading, and if I'm on the Discord, then I have time to actually, for example, on the mastermind, I didn't tell anyone if I was entering in a trade. It's like I'm listening to someone speak, NQ just market shift, enter, I'm not gonna be like, oh, let me now
Yeah.
go on
'Cause
Discord.
you can't,
So that is a 3-day exception. But yeah, I think it just teach me the power of transparency.
Yeah.
Because I was telling, I have a couple of students that come from that community, and they were like, yeah, it's just so refreshing that we know you're actually trading. Because with all of my previous communities, the question was always, are you actually trading?
Yeah.
Are like
In the back of your mind.
first community, second community, none of them would show MetaTrader, and everyone would always ask, "Oh yeah, great, you entered in this 3% trade. Did you actually enter?" Like, no one knows. Like on the live streams, imagine I tell someone now that I'm with 100% strike rate on the live streams, they would be like, "That's impossible." It's like, it's literally there. Like I said, I just entered,
Yeah.
went into drawdown, then the market reversed. Okay, now I'm in profit. So
You can't fake it. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, I think that's how it helped me in general. It's just
Yeah, you can take positives out of it for sure.
yeah,
That was a crazy situation because I know some people that they paid multiple thousands for a course, and you should have seen it, mate. It was there was literally like a watermark in the bottom, like with the screen capture website name, and people have paid thousands for like maybe a day's work in video content. And I know you all like I've seen the effort you put into your trading community, and like the videos are like movies. You know what I mean? Whereas this is like there's not even like a face cam. It's
like, if I was to tell you what everyone told me in this mastermind, like they were ripping on me. Like they were ripping on me on the fact that like I told them the offer, and they're like, "You're fucking insane."
Why?
Because it's too much.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, they were like, "You are insane." And I was like, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Because I just grabbed everything I liked from every community, high quality from this one, this from this one, this from this one. And in my mind is like, I just want to make the perfect, I want everyone to love it.
Yeah.
Obviously, not everyone is going to love it. Like, but still, and I think no one can join and be like, there's no effort put into this.
Of course.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I just can't believe what happened with that. But yeah, thank you. It was interesting to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
I was looking back through our Discord conversations, trying to think about what some of the things we used to speak about. And I saw one of our longest conversations was about investments and Tesla, Ethereum, things like that. I wanted to know, like, if you don't mind me asking, what long-term investments do you have at the moment besides trading?
It's funny that I remember I had a free Discord before.
Yeah.
And but I deleted it. But I know that one of the last texts you sent was like, when Ethereum dropped to 900, you were like, buy it and never think about it ever again. And I didn't. I remember that was a crazy situation. It was when the FTX thing collapsed.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I have some weird investments for sure.
I'd love to hear them. Yeah, I've written down like what unusual or alternative investments do you have?
Yeah, so like right now, like the most normal ones is just stocks. I only have stocks. I want to get into real estate. Like everyone on the mastermind was talking against real estate, but because because we're traders, I want illiquid assets. I don't want to be able to sell it if I want. Because right now, as we're talking, I can go to my phone, sell all of my stocks, and spend all the money on a car. I can do that in a day. And I don't want that possibility. So I will go into illiquid investments also. And now my weirdest investment is actually CSGO cases.
No way!
Yeah, I have like 70,000 right now.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's an awesome investment.
Yeah.
I've seen those going up. You know, I was on my, you got me excited. I was on my Steam the other day because I'd seen the price of some of these stickers. And I was like, oh my God, I had those stickers. I was VAC banned, so I don't have access to a bunch of my skins. And I went through my marketplace history.
Oh yeah, you can't.
I know, and I was like I bought that for 10 pence, and now it's worth thousands.
Yeah.
I don't think you can really see that coming with CS:GO, but it sets the precedence for a really interesting market in the future. Esports, digital assets Definitely a cool alternative investment.
Yeah. It was funny because I had me and my friend. I watched one YouTube video from one German guy, and he was like, "I think the best investment is CS:GO cases."
Yeah,
And I was
I think I know who you're talking
16
about.
at the time. It was Trilix,
Oh, yeah.
a German guy, and he was like, "CS:GO cases are the best investment. This is why." I didn't even know what supply and demand meant in general. I did not know what it meant, and yeah, then me and my friend just put $100 each into it. And now, like 5 years after, I remembered that we had the CS:GO case, and I was like, "Let me just check how much this is." And it was like $4,000, and I was like,
That's
"What the?"
crazy.
Like that's literally my best investment in life. And now I just
so cool.
and now I just grabbed that and put it on steroids. I was
Yeah.
like, I think they're illiquid though. Like I was talking with Kyle, and I told him, "Bro, I have 70,000 cases," and he was like, "How liquid are they even to sell?" And I was checking. It's like you're selling around three. They're each is selling maybe around 300 a day, like the more rare ones.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna take me like 1 year eventually when I want to sell."
To sell them off.
But I don't
That's
really
funny.
mind because I think it's gonna be very profitable. I'll probably make at least 100K with it.
CS:GO lasted like, I mean, before that as well. CS Source. These games have lived for like nearly 25 years now, and they've just released CS2. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes for another 10 years. You keep holding
CS:GO is the best game in the world, no questions asked. There's no.
I didn't expect this to become a CS:GO.
There is no better game than CS2 or
Yeah.
Counter-Strike. It's the best game in the world.
Oh, bro, I was the best.
That was very good also.
What was your rank?
I reached global, but I never really became good in Face It.
I think I got LE, Legendary
Yeah.
Eagle, was it? Yeah. Very
Yeah.
cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. That's cool to learn about. I've got one unusual investment, Pokemon cards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like a couple years ago now when it was like all the rage, I was like, oh yeah, that's a cool investment. And I was like, it can be a family heirloom, but it's actually for me.
Yeah.
So I bought like the entire 1999 base set, not first edition, not shadowless, the third like tier. And they've actually just all gone into profit recently.
Nice.
So that's great. Yeah, it's cool to hear your alternative investments.
Nice.
Thank you. Still got loads of Tesla. You still holding that?
Like I have a little bit of a beef with Tesla, and it comes back to
you
being
love Tesla. I
yeah.
remember.
but it comes back to my mind as a trader. Like I just didn't like the fact that that it's so volatile and I can try to time these moves.
Yeah.
And now ever since Elon was like, you know what, fuck Trump, I was like, okay,
Yeah,
like
that's
just
a bit too volatile.
like because for me, everything is fine. You can support President Trump. People can throw eggs at your cars and write whatever it is. But if you're going against the president of the country that you are based in, it's like I don't think that's a good
Not a
strategy.
good move.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Are you still living in Dubai? Or you've moved back to Portugal, right?
Yes.
I wanted to ask, is Dubai overrated?
It depends. It's like everyone wants to go to Dubai. I say if you make less than 100K a month, it's not worth it to go to Dubai.
Yeah.
Because like I lived in an amazing, people want to go to Dubai and they're like, oh, I can spend £2,000 a month. And it's like, yeah, but if you're moving to Dubai, then you want a better quality life. And that's what I did. I was like, okay, I go to Dubai, I go to the best apartment I can find, Burj Khalifa views, new apartment, just beautiful. Spend thousands and thousands on furniture too. And I had some bad luck coming into Dubai, but it is what it is. It's just not the place for me.
Yeah.
I am a family man. I love my family. I love my friends. I don't care about this hustle of like, oh, let's wake up and destroy the competition. And that's why like Americans are winning because of that. I can guarantee you that. And then I got the realization that one of my most successful friends, he makes around 1 million a month.
Wow.
And he's just lives in the middle of nowhere. And I'm like, oh yeah, you don't really care about networking every day. And I thought, well, I'm the same. And if I want to meet people in Dubai, I'll just go there for a month and that's it.
Yeah.
So I created my own prison in Dubai.
I see.
Because in my mind, again, I wasn't making 100K a month. So it didn't make sense for me to be in Dubai, and that's why I left. I would say that if you go to Dubai, you have to be okay with like, if you're okay with every single month buying a flight, I would even say 2 flights anywhere in the world, that's fine. If you and you don't mind then leaving the rented place, because I like just the place I rented was like 50 grand.
Crazy.
And like that's why I created my own prison, because if I was in Portugal, I spent like 4 months in Portugal in the summer or 3 months in Portugal in the summer. I was like, I'm just wasting money. My apartment is in Dubai, just gaining dust, and I'm just wasting money.
Yeah.
And that's not the thought process you want to have when you're like, you want to be free. It's like you go to Dubai to be free, and then you create your own prison. That's why I say 100K a month. Why? Because then you can spend 50K on a really nice apartment and not mind if you then go travel just because.
Yeah.
So
it's an interesting place for sure, and I align with your views where it's not my vibe. I'm a Welsh boy. I live in the countryside. I want the rain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've actually just bought a house in North Wales,
Nice.
so I'm locked in there now for at least a little while. I think being at home, being with family, that's.
Listen.
It's like a means, not an end. You know.
At the end of the day, I talked about this in the mastermind, which is, so I'm always mentioning it now because it's so fresh in my mind. That's why.
Well, that's good. You need to remember.
And you know, someone just regurgitated what I think, which is, at the end of the day, when you're on your deathbed, you are never going to think, oh my God, I wish I made more money.
Yeah.
It's always like, I wish I spent more time with family.
Exactly.
I wish I had kids. I wish I would have traveled more. I wish I would have done this. It's no one regrets making little money.
No one's coming to the end of their life thinking like, so glad I saved all those taxes.
Exactly. Exactly.
They're thinking exactly.
Like the maximum someone can think, and I think that this is why people should still grind. It's like, the reason why someone can be on their deathbed and regret not making enough money is because they knew they could have paid for the treatment. So you have to make money. That's the thing. Money is extremely important. The thing is, like, you reach a level where you are just sacrificing like family, like the things that matter, for saving a little bit more money on taxes.
We're making money. I think people don't ask why they want to make lots of money. And I think for a lot of people, it comes down to time freedom. What do you want to do with that time freedom? You probably want to travel the world. So like you say, not worth getting yourself locked down in one place, or, you know, spend time with your family.
Yeah.
So, I think making money, it's a means, not an end. Like, that's not the end goal. It's to get you to the opportunities.
Yeah, I've been able to make some money, and I was going to say this eventually on a YouTube video. It's like, the only thing that has ever like bring me amazing like happiness is literally the fact that bill comes, 10 people around the table, I get the bill, I pay.
Yeah.
No one has to go into their wallets and, oh, let's fucking split it, or like the people. It was funny because I put a video. This video went kind of viral because I forgot to put music on top of it on Twitter, and people were like saying that I'm fucking stupid and blah blah blah, because I made a video because I made 10,000. I gave 10,000 pounds to my mother.
Oh, like, I saw that.
Yeah, and the problem was that on Twitter it didn't have sound, so it only had the raw reaction, and people were like cringed out. And I get it. Like only then did I notice that. But on Instagram it also did good, and it's like those small things, or like I bought the Tesla. Like people think I bought the Tesla for me. I literally bought them for my parents. So it's like,
that's great.
I'm a giver, which sometimes is bad, but I like to give.
It's better to be a giver than a taker. Yeah.
And that's the thing that brings me happiness. Is
that's great.
I just take care of my loved ones, and if they need anything, like my grandfather had some health issues, and I was like, how can we pay to speed this up? Like, I don't care. Like people.
That's why we do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people need to remember that.
Yeah. At the end of the day, someone that is well off wants 1,000 things. Someone that is unhealthy wants one. Like someone that is on their deathbed just wants one thing.
Yeah.
To not be there. So, like, people have to sometimes think about what they're chasing.
Yeah. And just because we've got a couple more minutes, last question to wrap this up. What is your kind of 5-year plan? What's your biggest long-term goals right now?
I have a specific number that I want invested just to be able to say, okay, I'm good. I don't have to work for the rest of my life. But I don't really have a 5-year plan anymore. I think it's very, very hard to predict what you
Super
want
hard.
to do in the next 5 years. And I think it's a little bit even egotistical to think that you know what's going to happen in the next 5 years.
It doesn't go to plan ever.
Yeah. So I would say that my next year, 2 years is just going to be scaling up the business, scaling up my profits in trading, just focusing on trading and business, and then just grabbing all that cash, putting it into index funds, real estate, treasury, bonds, whatever it is.
Awesome.
And that's it. And just retire. Well, I won't retire, but
Retire you and your whole family, you know.
yeah. Luckily enough, family's already is
That's
already
great.
there,
You can save somebody.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for watching. I think that's been a really great interview.
That was great. That was very good questions.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thank
man.
you. Awesome.
That was very, very good.